Brakes and parts sitting on the ground because they don't change a lot of stuff right now. Take a look at the brake rotor. This is what cracked. That's a good brake for these guys that they found that in this practice. The other thing I want to show you right here is what they call the pinholes. That's what so much talk has been about. That's what the wheel actually slides onto to lock in place to drive the race car forward. A very important part of these cars now.
Yeah, those drive pins have they caused some issues early on at Daytona. Larry has more.
Well, let's not only show you the drive pins on the hub that Regan just showed, but let's show you those drive pin holes. There's 6 drive pins on the hub itself. And then when you go to the rim, that's where you see all those drive pin holes. There's 18 of them. And that essentially does the same thing as the lug holes and the lugs last year. That's what lines that wheel up and lets it kind of index up there, is lining those drive pin holes up with the drive pins.
Well, early on in the season, we definitely saw a lot of mistakes. Starting to clean those mistakes up as they learn and things evolve going through the season. You knew you were going to have some of those setbacks, those problems, you know, with a brand new race car. But I want to go back to that brake situation. I heard when these teams were out here, a lot of talk of everybody coming back with temperature-related issues. Their brakes were getting hot. Again, going into 3, you use a lot more brake at a track like this than one would think. And everybody's brakes were getting hot. They were getting long pedals. A lot of teams came back with either a different brake package or some things implemented into the race cars to fix that. And it looks like if that rotor's cracked, more than likely that's a heat-related thing. It got too hot, so that's something that they're going to have to adjust, which, by the way, you can adjust. That's the one thing that you will see a difference on the front of these cars with tape and things like that. You can open and close those to your discretion. Brake ducts.
Brakes are so important. I mean, you know, if it goes long, if you lose them, I mean, I remember having to use them brakes less. Like if you start to lose the brakes, then you just have to spend less time on the brake pedal, which means you just have to slow down. So that can ruin your day.
The key is to have a good balance on your race car. You know, William Byron, you see those guys that are fast not only for a first lap, but long runs. They're probably not using as much brake, got a good grip level on their car that's comfortable. They can get into the corner, doesn't come out from underneath of them, stays off that brake.
That's when they can use the shifter again. See, Clint? It's a tool. They can just downshift to slow
They ain't
down.
even shifting.
All right, we're going to complete Group B practice with Team Penske leading both Group A and Group B. Austin Cindric and Ryan Blaney.
Well, more than likely, when you look at the history of this race, long runs are the conversation. And these guys running as much as possible is getting into that, right? You start burning fuel out of your cars. The balance of your car goes away, starts shifting that balance to the rear. Your front tires don't work as much. The brake conversation we're talking about builds that air pressure and makes it tight. A lot of different things happen through the course of a long run.
So Kyle Larson made a 31-lap run. Ryan Blaney made a 39-lap run. And Austin Cindric has the fastest lap of practice by 9 1/1000ths of a second over his teammate Ryan Blaney. Let's get ready for